My name is Emmanuel Pillay. I'm Head of Training and Certification for the ASEAN region at Amazon Web Services. We are so glad to have you joining us today at AWS Summit ASEAN. In this particular session, we'll focus on a recipe for digital transformation through driving broad cloud fluency in organizations. We'll hear from Techcom Bank and Shopback, who have both partnered with AWS Training and Certification to upskill their workforce to leverage cloud effectively. Before we dwell into their stories, let's hear from Andrew Sklar, Head of Asia Pacific and Japan Training and Certification, on why investing in employees' digital skills training has become an imperative for achieving business goals.
Thanks, Manuel. Hi, my name is Andrew Sklar, and I'm Head of Training and Certification for Asia Pacific and Japan. Digital technologies are rapidly transforming industries and organizations, delivering new capabilities in just weeks or even days that would have previously taken months or years. At AWS, we have witnessed incredible growth in demand from customers for digitally skilled professionals over the past decade, particularly in ASEAN, one of our most dynamic and diverse regions. For employers, rapid digital skills transformation means that skills requirements are evolving quickly, and today they face an immediate need for digitally skilled workers to ensure their long-term competitiveness. For workers, adopting a mindset of lifelong learning and constantly upgrading their digital skills is essential for matching the industry's evolving needs. To better understand workforce landscape and help our region address barriers to digital skilling, AWS commissioned strategy and economics consulting firm Alpha Beta to examine the skill needs of organizations across 7 countries in Asia, including deep dives in both Singapore and Indonesia. The report shows the critical need for workers and employers to increase digital skills knowledge and maximize the benefits of technology. And in this session, you'll hear examples of how 2 of our customers in ASEAN have partnered with AWS to address a skills gap, delivering to their technology goals whilst also serving their communities. You can delve into the report in more detail through the research tab on the platform, but I'll give you some highlights that really resonated for me. The research found that 7 countries studied will collectively need to train an estimated 86 million more workers in digital skills over the next year to keep pace with technological advancements. That is equivalent to 14% of their current total workforce. In Indonesia alone, that number is 17.2 million. 2 in 3 workers are not confident that they're gaining the digital skills fast enough to meet future career needs, and 93% of workers and organizations face barriers to digital skills training. To meet this growing demand, AWS Training and Certification equips the builders of today and tomorrow, experts and novices, practitioners and partners, with the knowledge that they need to realize their cloud goals. Designed by the experts at AWS, our training supports learners of all skill levels, and our certifications validate that expertise. All right, Emmanuel, I'll hand back over to you to talk more about how we're working with organizations in ASEAN to meet this skills gap.
Now, we'll turn to Tuan Nguyen, Chief Information Officer at Techcom Bank, Vietnam. Following their decision to go cloud first, they wanted to create a cloud-fluent organization. So they partnered with AWS Skills Guild to develop their internal cloud program to create excitement, a culture of learning, and increase their employee engagement. Let's hear about their journey on cloud and their skilling program they embarked on with AWS Skills Guild.
Hi, my name is Tuan Nguyen. I'm Chief Information Officer at Techcom Bank, who has led the cloud adoption effort at TCB for more than a year now. Being one of the largest joint stock commercial banks in Vietnam, Techcom Bank's vision of chain banking, chain lives, necessitated a bold strategy with realistic execution roadmap to bring its vision to the customer as well as the banking industry. In the field of cloud technologies, Techcom Bank has stood out as a pioneer in the adoption of cloud computing amongst banks and financial institutions in Vietnam. In 2021, Techcom Bank announced that we are going cloud first with AWS. This is based on the observation that almost all of our customers use digital channel at least once a month. 34% of our customers are also digital first, meaning they use digital channel and ATM at least once a month and visit a physical branch less than once a month. Due to this, we have partnered with AWS to showcase the benefit of clouds as the country financial services sector continue to mature, further promoting cloud adoption in the industry. As part of our commitment to cloud transformation, Techcom Bank is investing $500 million in technology over 2021 to 2025, during which we will move majority of our application to the cloud, including our core banking system. However, we are under no illusion that for true transformation to take place, Techcom Bank workforce play a key part in the equation. That is why we have leveraged a number of enablement programs as offered by AWS, including the AWS Skill Guild program, a comprehensive skill development program designed to build cloud fluency across the bank workforce. We launched the Techcom Bank Guild Learning Program in July 2021. On this slide, I would like to share our approach to how we leverage AWS Skill Guild's expertise in order to lay the foundation of Techcom Bank Guild Learning programs. By doing so, we ensure that the learning initiative we roll out truly address the upskilling needs and cloud strategy of the bank. Firstly, led by the AWS Skill Guild team, workshops were conducted to define the North Star and identity of Techcom Bank's Guild. As outputs of the workshop, we identified targeted, measurable KPI that serve as success measures of the bank guild. This includes achieving certain level of enablements and certification across our target roles groups. For example, within the IT population, aided by role-specific learning roadmaps. We also ensure that our executives group achieve a certain level of cloud knowledge, which is important for upholding the principle of cloud first across our decision-making operations. A key part of cloud adoption, especially in an organization as large as Techcom Bank, is harnessing the power of the community. This is why we install success measures around the appointment of cloud champions in our workforce in order to support community mentorship and learning. These cloud champions are key individuals that not only serve as evangelists for our Guild Learning Program, but also play critical roles in ensuring that success around enablement is passed on to the rest of the community, for example, by conducting sharing sessions and study group for their colleagues. Lastly, tapping deeper into the topic of community powers, our North Star also dictates the mechanism needed to maintain awareness, encourage involvement, and reward achievements of our Techcom Bank community. Therefore, our success measures include specific plans around communication outreach as well as incentivization method. This is because we understand the importance of recognizing the effort and commitments that our workforce put into their own upskilling journeys. In this day and age, one may feel that they are constantly running against time. By sharing working best practices and recognizing learning milestones through the Guild program, we help the Techcom Bank community to achieve more out of their regular days so that they are not just operating, but also growing each day. This slide shows you the variety of initiatives that we have put forward as part of the Techcom Bank Guild Learning programs. As you can see, our comprehensive learning suite ranges from providing role-specific training to helping our individuals through the certification process, providing hands-on learning through engaging, gamified sessions, as well as holding celebration events to celebrate wins and milestones. Not to forget, the communication system that runs like clockwork in the background to ensure that we keep our community informed and engaged. I will elaborate further on each of these elements on the next few slides. Firstly, roles-based enablements. In a large-scale cloud adoption journey, it's important that we provide each individual has a clear view of what their learning roadmap looks like. For some teams, they may only be required to understand the basics of cloud and how it relates to their job roles, hence foundational training may be sufficient. For some others, they may be required to undergo technical training and be certified to show sufficient competencies against their cloud roles. In our program, we provide a clear role-based structure to show how different teams need to be enabled to keep up with the bank cloud transformation journeys. As part of our guild, we also offer complementary curriculums, such as hands-on learning and deep dive sessions to make it easier for the knowledge to stick. To date, we have run 25 AWS foundational classes, 38 AWS intermediate classes, and enabled close to 2,000 individuals across the bank. It is worth noting that consistent with our company policy to go cloud first, training also makes up 5% of our IT employee performance KPIs. Techcom Bank has built mechanisms to track the training progress for each employee such that these are easily visible in our HR capability management portal as well. This is another way that Techcom Bank ensures our workforce enablement strategies is in line with what the bank wishes to achieve strategically. Cloud Saturdays are one of the Techcom Bank Youth Learning Program flagship offerings. They are regularly learning workshops and events designed to harness cloud learning and adoptions. The Cloud Saturday section covers a broad range of topics, ranging from technical such as prototyping, managed database and serverless, to cultural such as working backward, culture of innovation, and so on. This goes back to the concept that to truly drive a digital transformation, not only does our infrastructure need to be updated, but so does the way of working with the organization. Large-scale change requires significant mindset shift, and this is why our enablement programs looks beyond technical learning, but also focus on applicability and how the culture of Techcom Bank needs to change to suit our new organizational needs. In 2021, we conduct 16 Cloud Saturday sessions and enable over 3,700 individuals through them. We plan to provide further deep dive Cloud Saturday sessions this year. As mentioned earlier, our Cloud Champions play a vital role in overall community enablements. Qualified individuals, once certified, undergo a Cloud Champions onboarding and assist in community learning initiatives through champion mentoring, support, and sharing mechanisms. Having Cloud Champions play an active role in the upskilling of their colleagues gives the wider community visibility of the positive impact that one's contribution has on the overall performance of the teams. Not to mention the improved relationship and collaboration that emerge as additional benefit of this arrangement. To date, 91 AWS certification has been awarded across the bank since last year. We have qualified 18 Cloud Champions to lead the TCB Community Support Network, and 6 study groups has been conducted by these individuals. Certification not only supports an employee application when going for a promotion, it also supports them during conversations such as year-end performance review. Of course, we recognize that many of our Cloud Champions learning about cloud and helping to upskill their colleagues are causes that these individuals are passionate about beyond work-based expectation. This year, we plan to make even bigger strides by putting through 280 Techcom Bank individuals through the study group and certification track. Lastly, amidst all these conscious efforts around learning and upskilling, we do not forget to have fun. Research has shown that by incorporating gamification into learning initiatives, we tap into an individual needs for instant reward, gratification, and feedbacks. Learning through a gamified format, such as in an informal competition setting, has been proven to increase the impact of training, productivities, and boost morale, which ultimately help reduce staff turnover. We all know how critical staff retention is in the era of digital talent shortage, and so Techcom Bank is taking active steps to ensure that we maintain job satisfaction in our talent communities. Over here, you can see that 2 of the gamified learning events that Techcom Bank took part in as part of our Guild learning programs. The first was an ASEAN Intercompany Game Day, organized by the AWS Skill Guild team, in which 15 teams from 3 Guild customer organizations across ASEAN pitched their cloud skill in a wide range of AWS services. This competition required participating teams to collaborate and share best practices in order to race against the clock and solve as many real-world problems as possible in a gamified, risk-free environment. I'm proud to say that one of the Techcom Bank team emerged as the top winner in the competitions. We conclude last year's Guild program with the AWS Jam competition and a celebration event. Similar to Game Day, AWS Jam allowed our internal team to score points by completing a series of challenges over the course of the day. AWS provides access to a pre-created infrastructure that is based on common use cases around operational and troubleshooting tasks. Participants then had to determine what happens, how to best respond, and the appropriate solution to deploy. After the competition, the Guild Learning Program held a year-end celebration event to award top performer in the competition as well as other individuals in the TCB community who achieved significant learning milestones throughout the year, such as those who obtained certification or took on the role of Cloud Champion on top of their daily jobs. Besides creating the opportunity to put learning into practice and allowing us to assess our own cloud capability, such occasions also help create a link between learning and satisfaction, ultimately leading to better collaboration and productivity across the bank. In fast-moving organizations, I recognize that it may sometimes be tempting to stick to traditional learning methods and focusing on hard figures. However, I strongly recommend for decision makers in companies to look into the value of comprehensive learning, such as through a program like Yield. You will be surprised to see how much community learning can be harnessed into operational impacts for business and its people. I would like to end my session with a statement that I shared with my team last year. As we gain the opportunity to become a cloud-first organization, we must also accept the responsibility that comes with it. As part of the Techcom Bank community, every individual, regardless of their role, needs to stay curious and be continuously learning. People are the key to ensuring that all that we choose to do as an organization is successful. This is why we must always have a sense of ownership over our individual developments, over the growth of the companies, and to always have the mindset of yearning to learn. Only then can we truly transform to become a cloud-first pioneer in Vietnam.
Echoing that sentiment of continuous learning is Prashant Singh, Vice President of Engineering at Shopback. Following the completion of a learning needs analysis, we built a data-driven training plan tailored to Shopback. Our recommendation included putting a team of 71 engineers through our experiential learning program, a packaged training solution that builds relevant cloud skills in teams through a mixture of formal, informal, and experiential learning. Let's hear more from Prashant.
Hi, I'm Prashant Singh, Vice President of Engineering at Shopback. I'm here to talk to you today about the upskilling journey we have been on with AWS. As Asia Pacific's leading shopping and rewarding platform and a company born in the cloud, we have relied on AWS from day one to build a flexible and highly secure infrastructure. Our mission at Shopback is to make shopping rewarding, delightful, and accessible. To enable us to do this, we have a set of core values we work to. Central to this is that we succeed as one. We are one team. That's why it was important to us to begin by understanding our digital competency across our teams. Our goal was to improve application efficiency and better cost management to sustainably support Shopback growing business. We partnered with AWS to develop a structured approach to upskilling to unlock the full power of the AWS Cloud. One mechanism introduced by the AWS training and certification team was the use of learning needs analysis, a survey-based skills self-assessment used to identify and remediate AWS skill gaps. This was deployed to 200 Shopbackers across 4 different countries: Singapore, Taiwan, Philippines, and Vietnam. The AWS team presented back a summary of the findings. For example, they provided an upskill AWS skill more by the skill domain that you can see on the slide. AWS were able to show us that 68% have never completed AWS training, but 66% called out that AWS is very important to their day-to-day operation. 88% of Shopbacker desire to have an AWS certification. We had a pretty sound solution architect with a competency level of 2.5 out of 3.0. However, gaps on developers, DevOps, and SysOps front was apparent at an average of 1.83 out of 3. Training needs to be deployed for these groups. From this analysis, AWS recommended 40 individual learning paths. The team suggested a combination of classroom-based instructor-led training, digital training, and specific course recommendations to drive faster AWS skills acquisition. This helped us to quickly identify where to focus our efforts and budget. We had 8 weeks from July to August to deploy any training plan. AWS shared the comprehensive training plan to train 71 builders from foundational to advanced topics such as EKS and big data. The plan included experiential learning program, or ELP, where Shopback builders went through 3 different phases. 1, learn and collaborate. 2, have a fun and validate their skills. And lastly, build and launch a prototype along with AWS Principal Solution Architect. ELP allowed our builders to learn and demonstrate their understanding through applying them on day-to-day operation by building on business issues they faced and opportunities identified. We saw three major outcomes from the training. First, we identified the opportunity to enhance the search engine of the Shopback application to allow our customer better search outcomes that led to the purchases. Building of application is currently still in progress. We expect to complete the prototype by the end of Q2. Second, the major benefit of prototype building in Builders Studio as part of ELP was saving time for us. In the design state, we were able to have direct conversations with the solution architect in AWS to discuss our solution before we invested a lot of resources into the project. And thirdly, during the development stage, our advisor was able to provide their real experience, helping to accelerate our implementation and provide valuable feedback on which areas we should pay more attention to in advance. I will leave you with our conclusions from having gone from the learning needs analysis through to the experiential learning program and beyond. Starting by understanding your people and where the skills gap is in your team is the key. The data-driven approach of analysis helped us to pinpoint our training needs and where to focus our budget quickly. Training is both a long and short-term investment. We saw immediate results, both during and immediately after the training. And we will continue to see the benefits through a motivated, skilled, and agile workforce. The key to be better every day is learning, and we are inspired to make training a regular activity for our engineers. Shopback's infrastructure is built on AWS services, and the best learning we could or should have is, of course, from AWS. I hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you.
I'll finish by directing you to the Resource tab, where you can find more information on our Learning Needs Analysis, the Experiential Learning Program, and the AWS Skills Guild program you've heard about in this session. You can also keep learning with resources from AWS Training and Certification, whether you prefer self-paced courses or classroom courses. Skills Builder is our online learning center that makes it easier for anyone from beginners to experienced professionals to build AWS Cloud skills. We offer more than 500 free digital courses that can help you and your team build new cloud skills and learn about the latest services when and where it's convenient in up to 16 languages. As you build your skills, consider preparing for one of our AWS certifications. These industry-recognized certifications span foundational, professional, and specialty levels to validate AWS knowledge and skills, building your credibility and confidence. Scan one or both of the QR codes on the screen to get started with your cloud skills training and certification. Thank you again for attending, and we really appreciate your feedback so that we can better understand the topics and services you would like to know more about. So please do take the time to fill out our survey and let us know what you think. Thank you.